Remember the days when school life was a tapestry of simple joys and tangible, hands-on experiences? From the nostalgic scent of chalk dust to the satisfying click of a typewriter key, our classrooms were a different world altogether. Let's embark on a nostalgic journey, rediscovering 13 vanished school items that were once the heart and soul of our daily learning adventures. Each one tells a story of a time less digital, more personal, where every object had its unique charm and place in our academic lives. Picture the bulky, colorful encyclopedias that stood like wise old guardians of knowledge in the library, the neat rows of card catalogs that were our treasure maps to hidden literary gems, and the rhythmic dance of fingers on mechanical typewriters, a symphony now silenced by the age of word processors. These relics, now replaced by the brisk efficiency of the digital age, were the building blocks of our school days. Join us as we unwrap the layers of time, unearthing these treasures of yesteryear and revel in the warm, nostalgic glow they bring. Remember the ritual at the start of every school day, when the teacher would open the hefty, leather-bound attendance book with its countless names written in neat rows? Each student eagerly awaited their name, responding with a crisp present. There was something inherently personal about this process. The teacher's pen, gliding across the paper, marking attendance with a flourish of blue or black ink, felt like an acknowledgement of each student's presence, a small but significant moment of recognition. As the class transitioned from the daily roll call, another traditional element of our schooling came to mind: the art of cursive writing. There was a time when mastering the elegant loops and curves of cursive was a rite of passage in elementary education. Our fingers would grip the pens as we practiced, connecting each letter with precision and care. The smooth rhythm of the pen gliding on paper, creating a chain of beautiful, interconnected letters, was almost musical. It was more than writing. It was an expression of individuality, a skill that lent character to our words and thoughts. Gone are the days of ink-stained fingers and personalized script, as the shift to keyboarding skills reflects a transformation in how we express and connect. This evolution in education, from paper and pen to pixels and screens, marks a significant change in how knowledge is imparted and absorbed. Turning the page from the tactile beauty of cursive writing, we encounter another crucial aspect of our school days now lost to the winds of change: the use of encyclopedias for research. Gone are the days when every project or report started with a visit to the school library, where rows upon rows of encyclopedias stood in solemn grandeur. We remember the thrill of pulling out a volume, the heft of it in our hands, the crisp sound of flipping pages. Each book was a gateway to a world of knowledge spanning continents and eras, waiting to be absorbed. Searching for information was an adventure, an exploration that took time and patience. Venturing further into this library of memories, we find the quaint card catalogs. Remember the drawer upon drawer filled with neatly typed index cards, cataloging the library's vast collection using the Dewey Decimal System? There was a certain magic in pulling out a drawer, the anticipation as you flicked through the cards, searching for that one book that would be the key to your assignment or the next great adventure in reading. It was a meticulous process, yet there was satisfaction in this hands-on search. Each card was a clue, each drawer a new possibility. As we move away from the aisles of encyclopedia-laden shelves, let's turn to another relic of the past, a hallmark of the analog era: the mechanical typewriter. Picture yourself in a classic typing class, where rows of these majestic machines sat, each waiting to transform thoughts into words. The room echoed with a rhythmic melody of keys striking paper, the carriage return's satisfying chime marking the end of a line. Students focused intently, fingers dancing over the keys as they learned the art of touch typing. Each letter pressed was a physical effort, imprinting ink onto paper, creating a direct, tactile connection between thought and expression. These typewriters, with their distinct clacks and dings, were not just tools for writing. They were instruments of creativity, demanding a level of skill and patience unfamiliar in today's world of instant digital word processing. Leaving behind the clatter of mechanical typewriters, we find ourselves in front of the quintessential symbol of traditional education: the chalkboard. This black or green slate, spanning the front of the classroom, was the canvas upon which lessons of all kinds came to life. The teacher, armed with sticks of white or colored chalk, would craft diagrams, write out equations, and list key points, their hands often dusted with chalk. The sound of chalk against the board was a familiar chorus to our learning experience, each stroke a visual aid in our educational journey. We've lost the tactile, organic quality of chalkboard teaching. The distinct aroma of chalk dust, the physicality of writing and erasing, and the simplicity of a tool that needed no more than a piece of chalk and a willing hand to impart wisdom. As we leave behind the chalk-dusted blackboards, we step into the world of film strip and overhead projector presentations, each a nostalgic hallmark of past classroom experiences. These were more than teaching tools. They were magical windows to learning where the classroom dimmed into hushed anticipation, and each slide brought a new revelation. The overhead projector cast its light on transparent sheets filled with knowledge, while film strips clicked forward, narrating stories and concepts through still images. This tactile and immersive approach to education, filled with anticipation for each next slide, has now been overtaken by the instant, seamless digital projectors and computer presentations of today. In this transition, we've lost the tangible charm and shared excitement that these older technologies once brought to our learning journeys. Transitioning from the dimmed lights and clicking projectors of film presentations, we step into the world of geography class, where the grand pull-down maps once held pride of place. These large, colorful canvases of the world would unravel with a distinctive whoosh, revealing continents and countries in all their glory. Each lesson was a geographical journey, tracing rivers, mountains, and borders with our fingers. We learned about far-off lands and cultures, gazing up at these maps that made the world seem both vast and accessible. From the vivid tapestry of world maps in geography class, we move to a different kind of exploration, the realm of mathematics, where the slide rule once reigned supreme. Before the era of calculators, this elegant tool was a student's ally in navigating the seas of numbers and equations. Slide rules, with their sliding central strips and cursors, were not just calculation devices. They were symbols of intellectual craftsmanship. Holding a slide rule, one felt like a navigator charting courses through complex mathematical problems. Each movement of the slide and cursor was a step in the dance of problem solving, a tactile experience in understanding relationships between numbers. As we set aside the intricate slide rules of math class, our journey takes us to the melodious corners of music class, where the sounds of vinyl records and cassette tapes once filled the air. These mediums were not just about listening to music, they were an experience. The ritual of carefully placing a vinyl record on the turntable, the gentle drop of the needle, and the warm, rich sound that followed was almost magical. With cassette tapes, there was the tactile sensation of pressing play and rewind, the soft whirring of tape, and the anticipation of waiting for your favorite song. Each record and tape held a story, a tangible connection to the music that is often lost in today's digital streaming world. Leaving the nostalgic melodies of music class behind, our memory tour brings us to a simpler, yet fondly remembered part of the school day: the delivery of school milk in glass bottles. There was a sense of excitement and anticipation when those clinking glass bottles arrived, each filled with cool, refreshing milk. The experience of peeling back the foil top, the first sip of milk. It was a moment of pure, simple pleasure amidst our busy school day. These glass bottles were more than just containers. They were a part of our school ritual, a symbol of communal sharing, and a time when things seemed less hurried. Today, concerns for safety and the environment have led to the replacement of these glass bottles with cartons or plastic. A necessary change, perhaps, but one that has taken away a small piece of the school experience. From the innocent days of sipping milk from glass bottles, we shift to a more controversial aspect of past school life: the existence of smoking areas for high school students. It's hard to imagine now, but there was a time when seeing students congregating in designated smoking zones was a common sight on campus. These areas, often tucked away in a corner of the school grounds, were not just places to smoke. They were social hubs where stories and gossip were exchanged under a haze of cigarette smoke. The very idea seems outlandish now, in an era where health consciousness prevails and smoking by minors is strictly regulated. The disappearance of these smoking areas from schools reflects a significant change in societal attitudes towards health and well-being. It marks a recognition of the dangers of tobacco, leading to stricter regulations and a shift in the cultural acceptance of smoking, especially among young people. Transitioning from the now vanished smoking areas, a symbol of a bygone era, we find ourselves reminiscing about another school activity that has largely faded into the annals of history: Dodgeball in physical education classes. Once the heart and soul of gym periods, dodgeball was more than just a game. It was a rite of passage. The thrill of dodging swiftly thrown balls, the strategy of outmaneuvering opponents, and the rush of being the last one standing were experiences that defined our PE classes. The gym echoed with cheers and groans, each game a whirlwind of excitement and competition. However, this once-beloved staple has seen its popularity wane, overshadowed by concerns over safety, fears of bullying, and the drive for more inclusive physical activities. In today's PE classes, dodgeball has been replaced by a variety of games designed to ensure everyone's participation and well-being. While these changes are undoubtedly positive steps towards a safer and more inclusive environment, they also mark the end of an era where the chaotic, high-spirited game of dodgeball was a symbol of youthful exuberance and physical prowess. As we wrap up this nostalgic trip through the hallways of the past, revisiting the cherished relics of our school days now lost to time, it's clear how much our educational landscape has transformed. From chalkboards to glass milk bottles, each item we've recalled paints a vivid picture of a bygone era, a time capsule of simpler, yet profoundly meaningful experiences in our formative years. But, as we fondly remember these vanished school items, we also embrace the advancements and changes that have reshaped education for the better. What are some of the school items from your past that you miss the most? Share your memories in the comments below, and let's continue this journey down memory lane together.